Yo, what up? It's Jada Ali, and I am locked in with Country Fan Mail Podcast. Let's get it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaDon, Country Fan Mail Podcast, Season 5, Episode like 14, 15. Can't even remember, but y'all know how I do. Either way, here with another dope episode. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank y'all for all the love. We just had some crazy milestones: 500 subscribers, 520 subscribers, 530 subscribers, and we went to 540 subscribers. This might not be a big deal to a lot of people, but at the same time, when you small team, you small time, you know what I'm saying, you literally watch those subscribers build up. Every single one is much appreciated, much love. Definitely fuck with y'all for tapping in with us. So without further ado, I have a very, very dope interview coming up. I'm so excited about all my interviews, but this one right here, I'm super excited to have. Her team reached out to me, and which was crazy. You know, that when team reached out to me, I'm just like, oh, y'all saw me. It is just like, you know what I'm saying. It is like to have a dope talent behind that. It's extremely exciting to bring to the stage. So for the first time, tapping in with the great state of Michigan, and not just Michigan, but the great city of Flint. Miss Jada Ali, welcome to the stage. What's going on with you?
What up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me for sure.
Already, I'm all about transparency and being real. And I just have to say, y'all, that like she's been hella patient with me. We've had a little bit technical difficulties in the beginning, and she's been like hella patient. I was just like, yo, she's about to leave because I can't get this figured
Nah,
out.
it's all
But
good.
we in here
Yeah.
already. But before we get into it, before I get into any of the interview, I have to ask you, what was the first song that you listened to when you woke up this
Hmm. To be honest, I listen to lo-fi music when I wake up in the morning. Just the
morning? Okay, yeah,
instrumentals, them little lo-fi beats. And then I
that's my
turned on
shit.
some Larry Jones. I don't remember what
Hey.
song, but I lately I've been listening to the organic Larry Jones.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like, I feel like we on the same wavelength with that shit. When I'm at work, all I listen to is lo-fi because it's just, you know what I'm saying,
For real.
it's in the background, but it's really like
Man,
there's something about it. It's just like it
keep you
helps you focus,
calm,
it helps you tap in. Yeah, it really
keep
do
you
keep you
grounded.
calm.
Yeah,
And then Larry June just it really just send you out. It like when you I feel like when you got to take on the world, you know what I'm saying? Like there's different vibes. You can listen to some hype shit, or you can listen to some Larry June that would just still get you in the vibe. You on your point, but you chilling on it. You know what I'm saying? Larry
facts.
June, a real chill cat.
Facts.
Already. So yeah, so that's interesting you said that, and I think kind of just going straight into the diving straight into the interview. I was listening to especially your latest tape or your latest album, excuse me, Hard to Love, and I was sitting there talking with my EP about it, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying, like, what do you think about Jada? She was just like, man, like she got something for everybody. Like she all over the place. Like she got something for everybody. She got something for the, you know what I'm saying, something to ride out on, something to chill on, something for the niggas, something for the bitches. You know, that she got something for everybody. So
Facts.
like when it comes to your process of putting together your bodies of work, kind of like how do you go about that?
Mm, I it's kind of hard to explain, but I really just I go with the flow. I cannot force things at all. Like that's just not how I work. So it's just really all about what I'm feeling in whatever moment when I'm in the studio. Whatever I'm feeling is how I groove. Um, and with making hard to love, that one it took me a minute. It took me a minute. It took me over a year
Mm.
because as I was working on it, I would stop. Like I started working on a record and then I would stop and I could not get back to that record until I felt it. You know what I'm saying? And then it took for, I was on like my 14th song and I'm just like, it's not done, it's not done, it's not done. 3 a.m. was my last song that I recorded. And when
Hmm.
I did that song, I'm like, I'm done. I literally feel like I have everything that an album should have. Every type of song, the riding songs, the club songs, the turn up songs, the
Yeah.
love song, you know what I'm saying? Everything. So it's crazy, but I really just go with what I feel. That's how I was taught to do music.
I feel that. I definitely feel that, and I picked that up in your tracks. You know, everyone has a different feel. You know, speaking of 3 a.m., I feel like, you know, for one, like when I first heard that, even though it's a completely different track, the very first thing that I thought about was I can't think of his name. I think it's something is I'm going 80 in the 60 fucking ticket because I ain't had that pussy in a minute. Like that's kind of the vibe that I was thinking
Yeah,
because you were just
yeah,
like, hey, I'm coming, like, hey, I'm ready, I'm coming to
yeah.
get
You're
it, I'm on
right
that
too.
shit.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So like. So, you know, and like I said, I really fuck with it. So, one thing that I kind of heard a lot in your music, like you like, I feel like you got like, I don't really know how to say this without sounding too brash, but it's like you got some pimp shit, like on some real shit. Like I really feel like you got this vernacular to you, like all that they call the ism. You know what I'm saying? Like you really be on some
Yeah.
shit. So like, tell me where that came from. Like, is that kind of like from your surroundings, or is that you know what I'm saying
Uh,
something that you just picked
well,
up?
that's funny because that's the first. That's my first time ever hearing that. But it's kind of like my lifestyle. I'm not necessarily no pimp player or whatever, but I am in a way. Like when I'm in a relationship, just to break it down, when I'm in a relationship, I'm faithful and all of that. But I have been told like I'm a smooth female from like men and women because I am a lesbian, but you know, I've had relations with men in the past and stuff. But
Yeah.
or just even on a friend tip with people trying to holler at me, people around me, they just like that's just my natural personality, like literally who I am. I'm just a cool, laid back chick, but you know, I move a certain way, and I guess it is that kind of swag though.
For sure, but it's apparent. It's apparent as a motherfucker. And I was just like, man, like it's such a vibe. And I mean, even you know what I'm saying, even like I feel like I was hearing inspiration, you know what I'm saying, coming out from like different areas, like just randomly in the song, you'd be like, bitch, and I was just like, hey, like it really put me on some, you know what I'm saying, some two show shit, so for real, like
Yes.
so, so like tell me about your, you know what I'm saying, like actually I'm gonna change this question. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit, but I'm not gonna take it back like in the typical way of being like, you know, tell me about your child. I ain't gonna do all that.
Okay.
Tell me about the very first time that you picked up a pen and that you really was like, I think I could do this shit. I think I'm pretty nice at this shit.
I was young, like 7, like between 7 and 10. I'm gonna do that gap because I literally have been rapping and fell in love with hip hop. Little, I was like a baby when I fell in love with hip hop. But I think what really did it for me is one of my cousins, like some of the first Apple computers. I was so little, but he brought one home from school and he was able to get in there. I don't know what program he was using or how he did it, but somehow we were recording over instrumentals. And my first
Yeah.
time ever hearing my voice on the record and it get played back, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. So it was definitely like young, young.
That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? To have that affirmation or to have that to know that from a young age, like
Right.
that's dope as fuck.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
like, were you did you have a? So I know you were saying, you know, so you had that support on that side, but like, how was the support? You know, overall, like, you know, what I'm saying, was everybody kind of, you know, always kind of leaning into your career, or was it something that people had to wait and see? Because you popping now, there's no question about it. You doing your thing now, so
I mean, yeah, I always had like family support, but of course, like it takes for them to really see you grow into this. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, this is okay. This is really what she's doing. Now let's help her financially or whatever. But yeah, I mean, my people always supported me. But I would say maybe after high school, when I first started really doing shows and stuff, is when really people was like, because I had uncles and stuff that was doing music before me, and I can remember
yeah,
always pulling on their shirt, listen, I got this song, I wrote this song, da, da, da. And they kind of was brushing me off. And it's like, I didn't get it. But now
yeah,
that I'm older and it's me and I got my nieces and my brother doing that to me, I'm like, okay, they kind of wanted me to just keep pushing, keep watching, keep growing, keep learning. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And and but people, everybody knew that I had this passion for it, like I said, since a young age. But it just took for me to really start doing shows and stuff for everybody to be like, okay, she dead ass about this. So
For sure. I get. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's been somewhat similar with my podcast, and you know, it's like
mhm.
everybody got a podcast, but until you see
Right,
somebody continuing to do that shit over and over again for years, and it's just like, okay,
right,
I think he's actually serious about it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
'cause everybody want to be a rapper and everything. So yeah, I definitely feel that, and And speaking of, you know what I'm saying, moments where it seemed like, you know, people probably realized it got real for you. Like, so I was watching this, that recent vlog that you just posted. Apparently you would perform with, were you on tour with Glorilla, or did you perform with Glorilla? Like, you know what I'm saying, the same venue type situation.
I really just was there for networking. It was a concert in Flint. Flint is a very small city. We don't have much. We don't really have those type of opportunities and concerts and stuff. So shout out to the people that put that together.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they brought her, it was just one of those things. Even though I'm not performing, let me show up and support the other artists that was performing, and show my face and network with the other artists, the industry artists, and the local artists.
You know that's wild because I was so yeah that's I guess that's the part that I was a little confused about, but it even makes more sense now, and it
Yeah.
says a lot about your character and your drive because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't really be trying to put themselves out there, be in that situation or be in that room if they weren't actually performing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I feel like the fact that you know,
Facts.
say shout out to your team, cue the question, your manager, I can't remember his name, but he was in the video as well. Shout out to that gentleman. You know, your whole team out there, like it seemed like y'all was out there hustling in another city, but that was in your own city, which just you know what I'm saying, that just shows like you know what I'm saying how y'all
Only
try to
thing.
eat.
Yeah, like I said, we just do what makes sense and do what everybody else ain't doing. One thing I did notice is, for it to be a small city where we don't have these type of events where it's however many thousand in one spot at a time, you would have thought that more artists would have been there on foot doing a promo and stuff like that, but it was
Yeah.
just me. But a lot of people, what we do is in that video you would probably see them putting up posters and passing out flyers and all that. A lot of people don't do
Yep.
that no more either. I hear a lot of people saying like that's a waste of money and things like that because of social media and doing it online and everything. Well, the way I operate and the way my mind is set up is like, okay, well, if everybody think that's old and this, that, and the other, that means they aren't doing it. So I like to do what everybody else ain't doing because what it does
Yep.
is it separates me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
That's a fact. That's a fact. I can't remember who said it, but the quote was, "If you want to make money, look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite."
facts.
Because it's like if you know what I'm saying, it's like why are you gonna go out there and do it? Like you just gonna flood the market with all this other shit. Everybody got a social media, everybody doing all this other shit, everybody popping all
Right.
this other shit. But how often are you walking down the street now, you look up at the light pole and see Jada Ali, you be like, damn, who the fuck is this? Like I'ma listen just
Exactly.
because you took the time to put this shit up here. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly. And I'm the only one up and out. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
the only one you seeing in Flint. So yeah, that was necessary. That was mandatory for me.
Definitely mandatory for sure.
Mhm.
So kind of, you know, what I'm saying, taking a different turn, and I don't really want to stay here too long because I'm not 100% educated on all what's going on. All I hear is what is passed on to me through either
Right.
social media or the news and whatnot. But tell me a little bit more about Flint and how it was, you know, coming up in Flint and just in a real blunt way, is it really how they portray it in the media? Because I just personally don't know. So I really want to know and understand.
I mean, I feel like what they portray to be in the media is true, but that's not all. You know what I'm saying? Flint is definitely one of those places where, to me, the whole Flint is the hood. Like, whether you live on the north side, south side, east side, west side, it's the hood.
I think we lost you for a second.
Okay, I know what happened. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it stopped.
Okay. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you good now.
the north side is the craziest side to live on and be from, and that's where I'm from. So of course you seeing the violence, the murders, the all of these type of things, but they don't show all of the other stuff like you know um, all of the different athletes that Flint has produced, all of the different artists that Flint has produced, all of the actors, actresses. Man, it's just so much, and even beyond that, even what I can further than what I can even think of right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, somewhat. of course, but it just seemed like Flint is just one of those places that's all they talk about. Like, for example, the water thing, the water crisis. Like, till this day,
Yeah,
people, when I do interviews and stuff, they still ask me about the water, and I'm like, well, you ain't know Kyle Kuzma was from Flint, or you didn't know Free Rio, but that Rio and all these other cats doing their thing and everything. So
yeah,
it's more to it, but I wouldn't say it's a lie what they portray it to be. It's definitely a
for
rough
sure.
place to be from, but
Yeah,
it's what it
and I
is.
mean and that's why I didn't want to go there because like yeah, I feel like when you know what I'm saying, not being from Flint, not being from the Midwest, I guess that would be considered like when
Yeah,
you
you
hear
don't
Flint,
know.
that's the only thing that you hear about. So I was like, I feel
Right.
like you probably get asked that shit all the time. So I was like, how do I kind of ask it but not being in a weird way, but you know, I guess when it comes to, what I'm saying, your city and when it comes to being an artist in your city, you know what I'm saying, like, do you feel like you get a lot of love from the hometown, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, well, actually, no, I'm not gonna make the question complicated. Do you feel like you get a lot of love from the hometown when you be going around and shit?
Definitely. I'm definitely very well respected around Flint. So yeah, it's definitely all love, and it's so small, so it's hard to not um know who somebody is. Everybody know who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've always been a cool person. I ain't never had no crazy. My face good everywhere. So
Mm.
yeah, it's definitely love for sure.
And I can hear it in your music, you know what I'm saying? I definitely hear it in your music. You got a confidence to you that I feel like certain confidence can't be fake. You know what I'm saying? There's certain artists that have a confidence in their rap that they don't live in real life, but then there's
Right.
another confidence that you be like, nah, I'm pretty sure that's actually how they move it. You know what I'm saying? How they actually move. And it's funny, I was talking to my EP too, and I was just like, because I promise, I try to tell you, I don't know shit about Flint. I was just like, so like, only thing I know about Michigan is Detroit. So I was like, where is Flint considered the Detroit? She was like, I live in Sacramento. She was like, Sacramento and Elk Grove. I was like, damn, that's like 30 minutes, an hour
Right,
from each
right.
other. I ain't
It's like
know
a
it was
good
that close,
hour.
right? Like
Yep,
an
it's like
hour.
an hour. Yep. But yeah, then
Yeah,
Flint, like I said, it's so small. So I mean, it's Detroit. It is. It's definitely like Detroit. It's just smaller, so it's even
yeah,
crazier. But you know
yeah,
what
yeah,
you see on the news and the media about Detroit, it's the same. You know what I'm saying?
for sure, for sure. So, so kind of switching gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As you've been doing your music, you've been coming up, and actually, before I even get too deep into that, shout out to I think it's Flintstone Girls podcast. Am I saying that correct?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, shout out to them. 'Cause I would watch all the interviews that I can find on you, and they definitely dropped a lot of gems. So yeah, definitely shout out to that podcast. And when I was learning about your family and your family dynamics, and when I learned about the fact that so you have your brother, you're taking care of your brother, and that really, say for a lot of personal reasons that we talk a little bit offline, but that they hit me in a real, they hit my heartstrings like in a real way because I feel like that's it's hella important, saying to make people to help people understand that regardless of their current dispositions, that somebody cares about you.
Right.
And saying you sometimes people just need a chance, saying to be able to get their leg up. So um definitely took a different took a different route than
It's
I was
all good.
expecting to go. But yeah, so when it comes to your music, like what is your hope when you put out music? Like what do you hope is the message that people are receiving?
The message. Um. Well, the message is really just to I hope people that are understanding who I am, where I come from, and what's possible. Really. But it's really all about awareness right now. You know what I'm saying? Just I
Yeah.
think the stepping stones. Once I get to a certain level of success with it, then it'll be it might change. But right now, it's just spreading awareness who I am, what I can bring to hip hop, um, what I have to offer, and then
Hmm.
what is Flint, what you know what I'm saying. So that's really um, my message right now, and really also to keep going no matter what. You'll hear me saying that type of stuff a lot in my music because I've been doing it
Hmm.
for a long time, and a lot of artists from where I come from been doing it for a long time, and we're just now starting to get a little bit of light um, shine on our city. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really just all about keep going, no matter what, because you're gonna get there. And I'm getting closer and closer now, so I can even say that now. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not exactly where I want to be yet,
Yeah.
I'm getting closer. You know what I'm saying? So it's just showing me that everything that I'm doing is working.
For sure. It definitely is, you know what I'm saying? There was something I heard you say in one of your tracks, and I forgive me, I can't remember the name of the track, but you were saying that the only time you might see me stop is when I touch a million. And when I heard it, I was like, I hope she don't stop when she touches a million. I hope she fucking
Oh
keeps
yeah,
going. I hope that's
I
just the
sure was
antithesis,
about
you
to.
know what I'm saying?
I sure was about to get ready to say, that must have just been how I felt in that moment. Because especially with inflation and shit right now, that's not enough. That ain't nowhere near enough. You hear me? So yeah, and that happens too. Like where I just really, I don't I don't I don't search for words and things to say too hard. I literally go with whatever I'm feeling in that moment. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
might tweak stuff or try to flip something to make it sound cooler or whatever. But at the end of the day, whatever I'm going on through that moment, because later I might say something like that again, and I might say I need a billion. You know what I'm saying? So
For
yeah,
sure.
I definitely ain't stopping to answer that.
Already.
No.
Cause like in a real way, I mean, I feel like everybody that I have come on to the show, regardless of how it happens, I reached out to y'all reach out to me, whatever it is. I'll try to make sure that I'm a fan of whoever comes on because for one, there ain't nothing worse than having of being in the interview and the motherfucker being like, "So your name is,"
Man, don't know
like,
nothing about you, didn't do they, huh? And I was about to say, you don't even really gotta be a fan, but it do be dope when somebody interview you and they at least did their homework, checked you out a little bit. But yeah,
yeah. It's a
definitely,
thing, you know what I'm saying? It shows the difference, you know what I'm saying? And I
definitely.
feel like,
So I
like I said,
appreciate that too.
I already like I really enjoy the shit. Like, and then when I say I enjoy it, like I'm adding music to my playlist, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm knocking shit up. I'm just like, yeah, this some motherfucking Bob. And it was I can't remember what like it's crazy because like I said with track names sometimes they leave me, but I definitely remember lines all the time. And I think
Mhm.
it might have been Two Goats
Uh-huh.
actually. I think Two Goats was the track, and you were just like something. I really actually rather fuck your bitch, and I was just like, oh my god, like it hit me in the chest. I was like, oh my god, she
Yeah, in
got
the
the
chest.
scratchy
I wasn't
picture.
expecting that. Yeah, that's part of the Flint flow too. Just that's just, we shit talking. You'll hear a lot of
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
Flint
yeah.
rappers they call it shit talking. That's definitely what we do for fun and stuff. And so Daytwan, oh my god, his creativity is so crazy with just coming off
Dude,
saying
different.
he say the wildest stuff I can never even think of. So it was fun because he challenged me to do the same thing and saying certain things. And it's just like I know one of people's favorite lines off of that Two Goats is when I be like what I say? When I be like, I don't take pictures. Yeah, I charge for those.
I
But
charge
everybody
for
really
that.
like that
Yeah.
part when I be like, bitch, don't put me on your snap. I don't take pictures. I
Yo,
charge
yo,
for
you went the
those.
fuck off on this shit.
Yeah,
I was
just
like,
talking shit, just having fun.
and that's what I'm saying. I think it's that energy that I feel like, and by the way, if it's choppy on my side, it's gonna look better because they're recorded separately. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it look crazy. But yeah, I feel like it's that energy that you bring to the game that I never try to separate MCs by gender. You know what I'm saying? An MC is an MC, a rapper is a rapper. If you got it, you got it. But if you're just being honest, when it comes to other female rappers, I'm not hearing nobody come with that type of energy. I feel like either they're trying to be overly sexualized, or they, you know what I'm saying, or they're like trying too hard to sound like, you know what I'm saying, to be kind of in there. I feel like
yeah.
your shit just sounded hella genuine, and that's really what, like, you know what I'm saying, what I appreciated about it, and what really stood out to me, you know what I'm saying, about your music. And honestly, it seems like it's being received hella fucking well, because you
Thank you.
know what I'm saying, you fucking doing your thing. So with that, like, what's next for you? You know what I'm saying, like, what can we expect from you coming up soon?
Oh man, like I said, I'm always working, but definitely a lot more visuals from that album. Actually had supposed to been dropping a lot of things, but we had a little, you know what I'm saying. I don't even want to call it a setback, but definitely will be dropping visuals back to back to back on for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
vlogs on Jada Ali TV via YouTube. I'm getting ready to start dropping vlogs. Threw a couple out there just to see what people thought, and I mean, everybody is like, we want to see more of that. I've had people send me long DMs and just telling me like, just seeing that raw, uncut footage, just really
It's
helped them
beautiful to
to get to
see.
know me better and made them like me even more, my personality, even outside of music. And I was like, oh dang, I never even think about that type of stuff. So I definitely will be dropping a lot of those. I got some joint projects, EPs with some producers, some really really dope producers. Man, I'm working shows. I got all type of stuff coming up, so it's best to just follow me. Go to IamJadaAli.com for to stay caught up on everything because I got so much coming up for sure.
Already, I'm definitely excited for it. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of, going back, speaking of your production, like the production on that album, Hard to Love, like there was one track that whoever your producer was, I'm pretty sure he sampled New Jabez, who was like a Japanese producer. And when I heard the joint, I was listening. I was just like, I'm listening to the song, and I'm gonna send you the name of it just so we can make sure I'm gonna DM you the name. But
Ooh, because I
I was
showed.
listening to it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I ain't never heard no, like, listen, the production on that whole album was amazing. Like, all the way from motherfucking, what was the very first one? I don't know, tell me. It's,
Tightrope.
yeah, Tightrope. But yeah, but you got the visual with that joint out, which I really fuck with.
Yes. Thank you.
Um, that was, yeah, yeah, I mean, I honestly like, and I'm not trying to, gas you, but in a real way, I really feel like I'm in the presence of a really like of the next one, and I really feel like you please keep going, please
Thank you.
keep doing your thing. What I'm saying, as they say on Drink Champs, shout out to Drink Champs, I'm giving you your flowers. What I'm saying, because you definitely deserve it, and what I'm saying, you out there doing your thing, and then you a dope ass person on top of that. What I'm saying,
Thank
like,
you. Thank you.
so. You've already dropped your. I was gonna give you an opportunity to drop your Instagram and your social, but you already did that. But I do want to give you another opportunity to do it again. And
Yes.
yeah, and if you have anything just that you want to leave the world with, what I'm saying, like, what would you say to them right
I definitely just want to say be a good person. Time is winding down. Whoever you believe in, I believe in God and Jesus Christ, but time is winding down. So just do good, be a good person, be yourself. Everybody is here for a reason, everybody has a purpose. So do that. If you don't know what your purpose is, figure it out. Take some time to get to know yourself. That's one thing that I had to do during the pandemic, and that's what I did during those times. I know everybody went through what they went through. Some people struggled mentally. Some people, I don't know. But for me, I took that time to just really get to learn myself all over again. And I think that's really important, just to love yourself and pour into yourself these days because it's getting wicked out here. So I definitely just want to
now?
say, get right. You know what I'm saying? Be a good person. Stay focused. Whatever it is you want, start writing stuff down, them goals, and just go after them. Check them off. When you do something, check it off. I'm telling you, it'll help you do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But once again, I am Jada Ali on all social medias. Fuck with me. I love y'all. Thanks for having me.
Already. Already. Definitely appreciate you coming on. Definitely appreciate everybody that's tapped in. You already know what it is. KlueDaDon Country Fan Mail Podcast. Appreciate y'all. Another one.